Well, what makes a great book?
Well, the two things I can think of off the top of my head is subject matter and then the quality of the treatment. It's got to be about something that is timeless, and it's got to be treated with great skill and great artistry.
Absolutely, yes. I think Samuel Johnson said in his preface to Shakespeare, well, someone asked him what makes a great book, and he said, well, length of duration and continuance of esteem.
We really haven't been able to see what are the great works of today. Whereas, if you look back, you look back 1,000 years, well, what are people still talking about after all these generations?
Yeah, a short answer would be, well, they've spoken to more people. Mm-hmm. They continue to speak.
Yes.
To generation after generation. So there must be something in them that is worth our attention.
Right.
There's something sort of moral and spiritual about approaching a great book. Realizing that if it's changed other lives, how can it change mine?
And in some cases, some of those other lives are actually other artists or other authors. The Divine Comedy is one of the especially, again, certainly not the only, but one of the especially good examples of how this works insofar as, if you go back to the origins of the Divine Comedy, well, they go as far back as the Bible on one side and Homer on the other. And then later artists, whether it's Rodin with, I didn't know this until just a few years back that the origins of the thinker come from Rodin considering Dante, considering the Inferno, and then obviously Michelangelo's Last Judgment, and then some of the great musicians. Franz Liszt inspired to compose his own musical pieces dealing with the Inferno and Purgatorio and then Paradiso. And they're beautiful. They're beautiful. So people across time inspiring each other, which that's what tradition. That's what tradition is about. Unfortunately, I think in the modern mindset, there's an assumption,
chamber, isn't it?
That tradition is a prison, that you're kind of just locked into it, as opposed to no. What it actually amounts to is people inspiring other people across time.
There's something liberating about reading these great books and entering into that tradition of conversation, of ideas. And these are the ideas that can save us, right? These are the most important ideas. Generally, it wouldn't be a great book if it didn't have them, but ideas about how we should live our lives, about what justice is, what truth is, which is the aim of education, right? Mm-hmm. To what Plato said, to sort of condemn what we ought to condemn, hate what we ought to hate, and to love what we ought to love.
Absolutely.